L.R.Bretz. I'm here to walk you through all my aquariums. I have about 102 tanks, around 3,000 gallons. That's not including my ponds and tubs outside, or the tanks that are going out on the deck in the summer. This is my first video, and the fish room's still kind of in a rough draft, so please forgive any of the messes. Let's begin. Okay, so this is my outdoor pond system. Here I got 4 tubs, 55 gallons each. Not really sure how big the black pond is. I'm thinking 150. I have a sump filter down to the bottom. I can turn off each section whenever I'm messing around with them. Put rocks on this side, that way I have somewhere dry and put my nets without making a mess from the dirts. And this holds Assimilus barbs, mascara barbs. Got some plants in there, driftwood, 400 or 500 heaters. There you saw some barbs jet out real quick. Can't wait to clean it when it gets warm. Around the edges, got some test moss there, whatnot. Over here I got some glow light danios. Doubt we'll be able to see them though, kind of hard to see them out here. Soaking some driftwood for some tanks and whatnot. Then there's my cat Sparky. He's cool. He likes to hang out. And then in here we have red neon pseudos. I've seen some babies in here. I haven't seen many of the adults, but there's a lot of babies. I don't know if I can get one on film here. Oh yeah, there's one. Swim around, there's another one. And this is empty right here. It's got Hudori cribs, some aromatica. As you can see, my pond over here, that's a project for the future. It's frozen over, so kind of tells you the temperatures of lately. And let's see what it is in here. What do we got? Let's see if it'll focus here. So it's almost 76 degrees. Kind of dirty. Here we go. 74. Good temp. It's always fun feeding these guys too. Barbs are pretty active when they get fed normally. See what they do. Oh yeah, see, there they go. They liven up real quick. They got 10 of them in there right now. And let's go to the next. Here you can see the sump filter for the pond and tubs. You got those come down on that side and back in. It's got a big mag drive, the biggest mag drive I could get. A couple heaters in there just in case it gets too cold, like negatives. Goes back in there. And also have a spot where I hooked up a hose and add water back in it, which I'm doing right now because I'm taking care of this driftwood real quick while I'm out here. And that's how I fill it up in the winter time. Okay, so this is what my main tank looks like now after it sprung a leak on the bottom and had to redo it. You see it holds a lot of rainbow fish, dwarf neons, ornates, a few different types of cichlids, lots of moss down there, some mascara barbs, filamentous, a couple plecos. It's got a sump filter. It's always fun to watch these guys feed too. It's funny to watch them swim too. You get them to go where you want them to. They school up real well. Alright, enough messing around, feed them. They put a little much in there. Sure they'll eventually eat it. Not the shrimp in the sump will eat it. Bunch of orange shrimp down there. This is a 125 high, holds my Geophagus winnemilleri, part of the group. I've got 3 of them in here. Just put them in there actually yesterday. Tank is full of different colored shrimp. Now that the winnemilleri have been put in there, I'm not seeing very many of them around now. Did have dwarf neons in here. I bred a lot of those, so kind of moving on to something else. Here they are, they're hiding. Still haven't got used to the tank. As you can see, they have moved the sand around all over the place, as they love to do. I'm even hiding in this cave here. Kind of hard to see. There's another one of my cats, little kittens we had. Squirt. Her name, she's silly. Alright, and that's that tank. This area is a section in my utility room. Used to be for storage. Naturally, I turned it into aquariums. Got quite a few tanks here. Mostly use it to grow out fry, fish fry. Some shrimp and plants and whatnot. Alright, well, let's start here. Got a bunch of fire red shrimp down here. Hanging out, doing their thing. Battling some algae in there. You can see it's dying off, turning gray. I also use those marble containers to gather eggs from egg scatterers, danios and whatnot. This used to have pygmy rainbow fish in it. Move them tank to tank and collect fry here and there. There's a couple little fry in there, but I am not seeing any at the moment. They're pretty tiny, probably hiding in the moss. Takes about 2 weeks for their eggs to hatch. Here we have some sea alani rainbow fish. You guys colored up pretty good. Cool rainbow fish. Threadleaf Java fern, golden essia there. Back in the back, I got some hair grass I found in a local pond, retention pond. And up here, got some blue-eyed Gertrudes. See a couple there. Some Anubias, tubes, whatnot. The braiding tank. And this has neon gobies, blue neon gobies in it. There's got a little color on them right now. There's some orange shrimp in there. Some orange almost looks red on the video. Little hat for them. Keep a pump down there because them gobies really love the current. I have troubles keeping sand in that corner. Doesn't really bother me. Up here I have 75 full of green water. Also juvenile fish. Once the fry get a certain size, I stick them in here. Green water works real good to keep the bigger fish from eating the smaller fish. Also acts as a food source. See all these little critters floating around here. Those are orange shrimp. Probably about 1,000 orange shrimp in here. It's ridiculous. And let's see. Here we got a 40-gallon breeder. Here's a blue royal tiger. A little royal tiger shrimp. Got some babies in here. Red pseudo neons. Not sure what the other ones are. Here's some philandras, some anubias. Those are red neon. Also Bloody Mary shrimp. It's a coal. And lots of Daphnia. Tons of Daphnia in there. Good fry food. Here another green water tank. Babies, smaller fry. Getting bigger though. Eating up all that green algae. Also keep cherry shrimp in here. See if I can find any. Oh yeah, there's a few over here. I saw a baby over here. Yeah, that younger one. And down here we have some Vishas, some moss, some black neos, also known as black rose neos. A couple more there. Some tangerine tigers in here too. Only about 4 of them are selectively put in here. Usually hide in this log. Not seeing them right now. This big one there. Couple baby fish in here too. Some miscellaneous fish that I found. Just threw it in there. Another green water tank. It's a 20. It's got a red parva fry in it. Also orange shrimp. There's one. Don't really see any of the babies right now. They hiding in the bank. The green water acts gives a good cover. There's a couple coming up. It's so tiny, hard to see. And see, that's it for this area. Here is what I guess you would say my main fish room. Holds most of my aquariums. Bulk of them. Newest, right? Holds 32 tanks. This is a 125 long community rainbow fish tank. Holds a lot of my rainbows I've collected throughout the years. Some parvas, some yellows, turquoise, parkinsonis, dwarf neons, some 8 rainbow fish. blue phantom plecos in here, a couple of those. There's one right there, just kind of hanging out, not really doing much. Some orange laser quarries hiding somewhere. Keep all these rocks. There's actually a ton of orange and red cherry shrimp underneath these rocks, which acts as a good live food for the rainbow fish. This tank is actually being rescaped. Had some yellow Rileys in it, and just needed a rehaul. I let the filter go bad, just doing too many projects and whatnot. Actually have some micro crabs in here. Been thinking about debating whether to keep it micro crabs or just do it up, be an office tank and whatnot. I'm not seeing any crabs. There's only a couple in there. Really hard to find. They love those dirty tanks. This is a blackwater tank. Recently discovered the power of peat moss, so I've been doing a lot of testing with it. So I got all these numbers written on here. I got some SB rasboras, some cardinal tetras, bucephalandros, some A. reneki. There's actually some blue dream pearl or blue dream neos in here. Golden water killifish. Got a couple German blue rams in here as well. They didn't color up as much as I thought they would, being in blackwater, so trade them out for some gold rams. Waiting on getting some green laser quarry cats for the bottom from a local hobbyist that's breeding them. And here's the big rack. The tops all 20s. Whole top rows open right now. Doesn't have anything in there. Waiting to put some project shrimp in there or some breeding. This end will be cherries. It's all still being put together. Haven't grabbed all my shrimp out yet, but there's a few in there. But this will be cherries, red Rileys, Bloody Marys, wild neos. This is a peat moss tank that I've been working on. Got peat moss substrate. Trying to breed my first tetras in there, black neons. Something I've always wanted to do, but our water is always so hard that I never really had the chance to without a good RO system. And using my dehumidifier water. Been getting good results too. Hang the bucket up there too to get the water in there slow so it doesn't kick all that peat moss up, since it's such a soft substrate. It's kind of cool too, because I'll fill up the water bucket and then lift it, and the gravity will take care of the siphon itself. Down here I got a bunch of blue Rileys which need cold. I got some red Rileys in there with them, and the blues getting ready to call all those out from each other. Get the line better. These are some dark blue dreams in there. These are my blue velvets, also blue jelly. A few of them in there. Here I got some chocolate shrimp. Keeping. And then in here, this will be the blue red Riley tank eventually, and then I'll have more black neos in here. And down at the bottom here we have a mixed tank shrimp, mixed neos, which I've had this tank mixed with neos for about 4 or 5 years. Created all kinds of wild shrimp, my own grains and stuff. But at the same time, that's my oldest tank, so I decided to give them a bigger tank and upgrade it. You can see all the different colors. That way I don't lose the lines and all the genetics built over time. Some spiderwood in there, some Hygrophila compacta, feather duster, thread, leaf, java fern. It's a 75. Go to the other side of the stand here. And up top we have well, pretty much all betas on this side. Sides on the bottom we have the Geophagus Winnemillerite, the other part of the group. There's two of them down here. Oh, there they are. And they're stalls. Waiting like horses for a race. Pretty cool fish though. Kind of shy. Especially if up here is the beginning of the betas. Got most of my females down here. It's a female black Milano. Hard to see. See female fancy. Female crossray. That one is the pattern female. Little plants too, some parvus, some Talia colorata, little fuchsias, compacta, moss. This is, which one is this? I can't remember what that one is. Let's see, Dumbo placket, Downaway, another Dumbo, Lugia. We got some turquoise betas actually being bred right now. There are eggs up there. Need to pull that female out soon. We just had those eggs today. Added them in there. And this, I had my fancy betas in. Currently has a bunch of babies in here. So we can find some. There's a couple hanging out. They're free swimming now. Still really tiny. You can see them at the top there. There's one in the middle. Oh, there's a couple. Hard to see, so tiny. It's moving. Like they're doing good. It's a cross ray beta. That's from Jakarta, Indonesia. That's where I got most of my betas. Here's a platinum. No beta. Bell. Up here is a fancy male beta. Or hygro. Pattern male beta. Alright, that's it for the big rack. Before we go into the main fish room area, go ahead and feed these guys. They've been waiting to eat for a while. I wanted to show you guys what it's like to feed them. Sorry, camera's all. I'm gonna feed them some freeze-dried bloodworms. I tend to really go crazy after these. Love watching them eat. Alright, let's move into the main fish room here. Alright, houses, I don't even know how many tanks. I haven't really counted them up yet. Let's see, here's a rack of 20-gallon longs. Got an Orange Riley project going down there on the bottom. Quite a bit of them in there. That's where I got my red spot Orange Riley Neo. Pretty rare. And then created them myself actually. It's a green Neos line. More base towards the yellow and green, opposed to the orange and green. A few of them in there. They're really hard to see on camera because they blend right in with the moss. And up here we got another project. I'm not going to get too deep into that one because it's kind of a secret. And up here I've got some Signifer Rainbow baby fry. Also some shrimp in there. Another little project I got going on. Get too in depth on shrimp in there. And also another project tank up there. Or some blue pearls in there along with something else. And here I have snowball shrimp. There's a few of them back there. Nice white on them. Over next to them is Red Riley tank. Recently bought these. I didn't make these myself. Most of them died and there's actually only one in there right now. So that'll become something else. This is a select group of yellow neos that I've had and collected over breeding. It's kind of a darker yellow opposed to the bright yellows. And here we have some dwarf crays. Kind of one of them impulse buys. Probably won't do much with these guys. I'm just kind of hanging out for now. Maybe I'll stick them in a big tank one day. Do something else with that tank. And then up here I've got some blue carbons. Well, not blue carbons, but regular carbon Rileys. Few blue carbons in there. That's where I stick those calls at for my blue dreams. Then up here I have some select green and orange shrimp, which actually I've been noticing that color has morphed. And this one right here looks a little more whiter. And here you can see the orange a little more. You got a kind of green tint up here on the Luigia. Different kind of orange shrimp. Here we got the golden banks, yellow neons. Got a few pregnant ones in here. See if we can find them. I think she is, but hard to pick up on the video. Pretty bright yellow. And here we have red tigers, as well as some orange shrimp, kind of like orange Rileys, but half and half, where just the tail is orange. Back there's a couple red tigers. I'm seeing the orange Rileys here. Must be way in the back. I see them on the back glass, so it'll be kind of hard to get on camera. And this is some Killifish. I bought one of them packets off eBay. 50 eggs in it from Thailand, and added water, they started hatching, and now I got this group of Killifish. Anchovies. Pretty cool. I had some peat in their tank. They like that stuff. And here, the tank, it's still open. There's actually a couple safari shrimp in there. That's a pretty rare Caridina, Tybee. I bought more of them, but unfortunately they didn't live very long. And normally I don't have troubles with shrimp buying them, but those did not last. This is Blue Dreams here, Blue Dream Neos. A main tank of them. Lots of good grades of them. Couple blue carbons there. These bright blues. Blue jellies. Could use a little cone. There's a lot of blues. Alright. And down here I have some yellow neos and some Galaxy Tigers. Galaxy Tigers is a new type of shrimp. There's one right there. Recently just caught from the wild, so not a lot of people have them yet. Don't know much about them. I've also found this one that looks like they're turning red, which I never noticed that from any of them when I first got them. Not sure what's going on with that. Saw two of them, which I haven't peeked my head in this tank for maybe a week. Really gave it a good look, but I have to find out what's going on with that. Lots of yellow Neos. This line actually holds a yellow Riley gene. I'll be selectively breeding them more here in the future. A lot of moss and Italia colorata, Monte Carlo growing up pretty high. Alright, and over here we have starburst endlers. Lots and lots of starburst endlers. And some huge Hidori crypt. As well as some Anubias. There's some of the males popping out with the colors. Actually gotta catch all these guys out of here. They're gonna go in the garage. Also got blue pearl shrimp in here, believe it or not, with all these endlers. One down there. Couple up on the wood here. Hanging out in the algae. Then here we have a mixed grade tank of orange shrimp. Lots of different oranges in here. Some variations, color morphs. Getting ready to sell all these. I need the tank. I'm turning it into a cardinal shrimp tank. Lots of older autocinkless. Always wanted to breed them guys, but tried a couple times, haven't had much luck. Maybe another day. Then over here I have some 75 gallon. It's a breeding tank for rainbow fish. Let them go in there, scatter their eggs about, let the fry hatch up, collect them, move them, do it again. It's got a bunch of cherry shrimp in here. Good live food source for the rainbow fish. Negro compacta again. Some Hidori. This is actually Hidori crypt. About a year old. It's actually a slow growing crypt, but once down here, I've had those for about 4 or 5 years in that tank. Alright, now we're here on this rack. Let's start over here. We got more black rose. It's a different line. Recently acquired, so I kept it in a separate tank because you don't know how their line's going to breed and don't need them to dilute my good lines. And then here we have a couple blue orange, which looks like that one's turning green orange now. I guess I'm starting to learn that these hues are changing on these variant orange shrimp here. There's a crystal black up there. Some L.R.Bretz. Let's see, what else is in here? There's blue bolt somewhere. That guy's more blue right here. From the orange shrimp. And then here we got cardinals. Kind of hard to see, it's a jungle in here. One of my favorite shrimp though. The little white claws. There's one back there. Oh yeah, picking away. Quite a few of them in there. Only seen a couple babies from them. They're in a small tank, so I'll have to upgrade them. There's one on the side. It's hanging out. Keep that tank warm. Then here is a line that was supposed to be black shrimp, but if you get them underneath the light, they look blue. You can see them there. Super deep dark blue. So I had to keep them a separate line as well. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. And here, this is an open tank. I had some golden wonders. I bought them from Petco because it's hard to find them elsewhere, so I had to treat them. And then here is some royal blue tigers hanging out on some driftwood. Orange OEBTs. I'll plant it up. And here's got some orange Riley in there. Some crystal reds and some golden bees. There's a couple panda Pandas in here too somewhere. And over here, this is kind of a mixed tank. There's some culls of like shrimp. I didn't really know how to classify them, where to put them. It just didn't have a line or tank to go to. Some wild shrimp in here. It'd be really cool to see what all the crazy color culls, morphs create in time. Now let's see, down here we have another line of goldenbacks, yellow neons. Better view here. It was okay. So keep a separate line of them as well. And then over here, other greens. Green line. These are actually more orange and green lined. So meaning that they'll throw orange shrimp time to time as well as the greens. A few of them in there. White Anubias, some Val. And here we got orange Rileys, some Bucephalandras. Then here we got, this is kind of a crazy mixed tank here. It's got some wild shrimp right there, pretty cool, red hued ones. Green shrimp in there. Saw a real cool orange Riley in here too at one point. Real cool blue striped wild Neo too. There's a lot of these wild Neos, they get a bad rap because some of the hues on here look really cool, almost similar to tiger shrimp. Even getting some green shrimp like that look like tigers. There's one that's red, kind of flying around there, stripes. Here's green with the stripes, pretty cool looking. Bunch of different colors of those. This is another black Neo line I have. Showing some blue. And then here, some fire reds, a few of them. Still growing up that colony. Nothing in here yet. Had a green line I actually bought. That was a terrible buy. Yeah, the only ones I keep now are ones I created. And here is a line of wilds. I used to take my wilds and put them in here. Most of them became like clear wilds. Really wild looking. Like a snowball wild. They all tend to keep that color too. Not really called much out of here either. The numbers don't really get high in these sanded smaller tanks, I've learned. Good for projects. Then down here is my oldest mixed shrimp tank, the one that I've had for 4 or 5 years. There's a bunch of wild shrimp in it. Still keeping it up even though I've been transferring some to the 75. Still got the paper towel in there from water change a while ago. Kicked that Anubias wet. Shrimp like to eat it. Snails like to eat it. I meant to get it out, but I got a lot going on. And here we got some royal tigers. More of those. Yellow kind of green line going on here. There's one right there. This is actually a really funky looking shrimp. I don't even really know what to call these guys. Like a butterscotch almost. Royal tigers are really hard to see in here. And over here we have the rainbow tiger endlers. Created these myself. Got all kinds of different color morphs. Nice patterns, nice colors. Big bronze crypt been growing for a long time. Shooting off little babies all over the place. And that's it for the big main fish room. Alright, so here we have the garage section of my aquariums. Mind the messy table there. I tend to use the garage more as an office than my actual office. Here we got a 125 long, holds a lot of community fish. It's actually a lot of my fish from my 180 from when it sprung a leak. A red-tailed shark there, some glow-light danios, strobicori, glow-light tetras, pygmy chain loaches. Let's see, usually Raphael cats in here. There's one in there, kind of see his face. Some Dubai cats back there. Let's see. Some Beckford pencilfish. Julie Corey's hanging out. Bottle sharks. A couple of female blue Gularis. Pearl danios. Unfortunately, I don't have a male blue Gularis. One of my favorite fish. Cannot get a male. Been trying. And some Nubius. This tank's actually about to get a lot more love and CO2 to a lot of these tanks in here. Mostly just fish in this part of the house. A lot of other random fish here. Some I've grown, some are waiting to be bred or hanging out. Just recently been working on this scape. Did a huge trim. Had a lot of BBA because I had to neglect it. So now that I have time for it, and CO2, do it all up. Have a nice grass plain there. Then up here, I had some pygmy rainbow fish, which I recently moved over here. There's those guys. Waiting for babies to come from here. There's some eggs in there. Takes about 2 weeks. These are the parents. One of my favorite rainbows. Smallest of the rainbows. It's got a male gets real colorful when he's in breed mode, usually in the morning though. Copper on his head and whatnot. Here we have a colony of the rainbow tigers I created. I don't really know what to do with them. I'm not all about feeding fish to other fish, so I'm holding on to them. Another higher strain of the rainbow tigers I've been working on. Giving some of the best. They're looking really good. Down here I have a blackworm project I'm working on. Trying to get some blackworms to grow in there. Growing some Nubius out. Breeding tank. Just got the endlers in there to help cycle the water a little more. Mature it faster. It's mostly going to be for breeding egg scatterers. Down here I have a tank of blue pearls. Tank of fire reds. I'm getting ready to move these two tanks out, put two 20s there, because that's what really belongs there. And end up putting those endlers from in the fish room out here. We have more room for some shrimp. Keep my fish together. And these will all be braiding tanks for fish projects and whatnot. That I can just kind of keep open, keep clean. That way I can in and out real fast and do what I need to do, and should be fun. And over here we have 10-gallon tank. This is where I've been getting my blackworms from my blackworm project. This is actually an ADA soil tank that I had once. And blackworms love it. See them all up in there. I gave them some food. Algae wafers. Had them for years in here, so they're actually breeding in there. Then over here I have a bunch of empty tanks. And these are all waiting to go out on the deck once it gets warm. And that is it. Thanks for watching, everybody.